Are you paying more than $2,000 a month in the US just to survive, while your pension stays the same and the bills keep growing? The truth is, with less than $400 a month, you can live comfortably in a safe country, have your own home, eat 3 hot meals, enjoy morning coffee by the sea, and not have your retirement income taxed. And the best part, you don't need to invest, you don't need to buy a house, you don't need a complicated visa. The year 2025 is the golden time to move, as the US dollar is at its strongest in a decade, and the cost of living in Southeast Asia remains at record lows. Today, I'll take you to 5 countries in Southeast Asia where $397 a month can cover everything, from housing, food, healthcare to the joy of living. Watch until the end, because the last country might be where you can retire for life and still have savings left. Dream it. Pack it. Go. 5. Thailand, where you learn to breathe slowly again in a world that moves too fast. Mornings in Chiang Rai don't begin with car horns or phone rings, but with the temple bells echoing through the mist and the faint scent of incense drifting from the hilltop shrine. In a small wooden house with a balcony overlooking rice fields, you sit with a cup of hot milk coffee, watch sunlight slip through banana leaves, and suddenly realize you've spent less than $50 for this morning's happiness. Here, $400 a month isn't a limit. It's a door opening to another kind of life, where you don't need much money to live, just the will to live again. Thailand seems to have been made for those who want to rest without giving up. Not the kind of rest that's luxurious or extravagant, but the kind that's truly peaceful, where someone worn down by bills and the fast pace of life suddenly feels light as the wind. In Chiang Rai, you can rent a small house with a balcony overlooking terraced fields for about $150 a month. Eat 3 delicious meals for under $5 and still have enough left for a massage, tea, or a few baskets of ripe mangoes. Everything fits neatly within one spending circle, just $397 a month. Yet strangely, it makes people feel the richest from within. The Thai have a saying you'll hear endlessly if you live here long enough. Mai pen rai. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Perhaps it's that very philosophy that makes this country one of the rare places where foreigners feel truly welcomed, not as guests, but as neighbors. The Thai government knows how to make that both legal and pleasant. If you're over 50, you only need to show savings of about 800,000 baht, or a steady income of 65,000 baht per month, just slightly above an average pension in the US. And you can apply for a long-term retirement visa, staying 1 year, 5 years, or even 10 years. No investment required, no home purchase needed. You just need to prove that you want to live in peace. Regarding taxes, for income generated abroad, the general principle is that it's not taxed if not remitted to Thailand in the same tax year. Policies may change, so consult a tax advisor before settling. Healthcare in Chiang Rai is something that surprises many retirees. Overbrook Hospital, located in the city center, has English-speaking doctors, modern equipment, and checkup fees of only around $20 to $30. A prescription costs under $10. If you need specialized treatment, you can reach Chiang Mai in just a 3-hour drive, home to an international hospital that meets U.S. standards. In a land where the sunset glows on the Emerald Buddha statue, as if painting the lake in gold, it's hard to believe that healthcare, services, and even internet here are better than in most rural areas of the West. Afternoons here pass slowly, as if time itself wants to retire. You can walk to the night market, where vendors smile sincerely as they hand you a steaming bowl of cow soy rich with the aroma of curry. Each spoonful is a symphony of spice, sweetness, and creaminess. Thais see cooking as a way of showing kindness, so every dish carries warmth, just like the people. And if you prefer quiet, you can sit at a small cafe by the Kok River, listen to the temple bells carried by the breeze, and watch people bow to each other with a smile, an image the busy world has long forgotten. Life in Thailand isn't just easy, it's fairer. You're not forced to spend at anyone else's pace. In the US, $400 only covers half a month of utilities. But here, it's enough for you to live fully, with your own home, fresh food, and respect. Thailand doesn't ask where you come from or force you to become someone else. They simply invite you in, pour you a cup of tea, and say, "Welcome home." Of course, every paradise has its cracks. In March, smoke from farmers burning fields in the highlands can make the air hazy, and if you don't have enough funds to meet the retirement visa requirement, doing border runs or renewals can be a bit troublesome. But then you realize, none of that matters when you step out to your porch in the morning, dew still on the leaves, and the scent of jasmine drifting through the air. Some things money can't buy, and in Thailand, it only takes $397 to realize that. When sunset falls, the Chiang Rai sky turns deep orange, and lanterns begin to glow along the river. An elderly Englishman I met here once said, "I came to Thailand for the low cost, but I stayed for the peace." He's 72, still walks across the small wooden bridge each day, stopping by a roadside stall for noodles and to chat with the owner. "I used to think I needed to earn more to live better," he laughed. "But it turns out I just needed to live slower." And perhaps that's the secret of Thailand. It's not where you live richer, but where you feel enough. Not where you have more, but where you can breathe easier. A country where every morning you open your eyes, hear the temple bells ring, and know you've truly found home. If you could live comfortably on $300 a month, would you choose the beach, the mountains, or the ancient city? Comment below. I'd love to know which place you'd call home. 4. Vietnam, the land of freedom and peace. September the 2nd, the day when the entire nation of Vietnam is covered in red flags with yellow stars. On the streets of Hanoi, millions stand under the crimson sky, singing songs of independence. The crowd blends into the melody of "As If Uncle Ho Were Here on the Day of Great Victory." But behind that joy lies something deeper, the love of peace, something the Vietnamese cherish like the air they breathe. Here, there are tranquil rice fields, temples whose bells echo in the wind, and people who know how to live gently amid the chaos of the world. If you ever thought Vietnam was only about the noisy Hanoi or bustling Saigon, travel a few hours south and you'll find Ninh Binh, a place softly called Ha Long on land. Here, $400 a month not only lets you live well, but beautifully, in true serenity. A small house nestled among rice fields, facing majestic limestone mountains, costs only about $130 to $150 a month. Fresh food, clean vegetables, fragrant rice, and river fish can all be bought daily for under $5. You don't need much money, because nature here is already too generous. Back in Ninh Binh, by day, you befriend water and stone. Trang An, like a ribbon of cool green silk. Tam Chuk, like a giant lotus blooming on the lake. Bai Din, like a guiding lantern at sunset. At night, the temple bells fade into the scent of new rice. Crickets sing peace into the sky. You sit on your porch, holding a cup of hot lotus tea, listening to rain on the tiled roof, and realize you're no longer racing against time. Tomorrow there'll still be a $2 bowl of po cho, a smile from the vegetable seller, and an open hand when you need help. Here, people don't ask how much you own. They ask if you're doing well. In terms of residency, Vietnam does not yet have a dedicated retirement visa, but it remains flexible and open for long-term stays. Citizens of the U.S., ECAs, Canada, and Europe are eligible for a 90-day e-visa with multiple entries, a policy introduced in 2023. Every 3 months, you can make a visa run to Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, or elsewhere for a few days and return. Many people maintain this rhythm year-round, legal and relatively easy. Domestic extensions are sometimes possible but inconsistent. Therefore, visa runs remain the more reliable option. For uninterrupted long-term residence, other categories such as investment, employment, or marriage are required, though those come with legal and financial considerations. A proper investment route can require billions of Vietnamese dong. In short, for most retirees, the multiple entry e-visa plus a few short trips is the most practical, inexpensive, and least restrictive solution. Taxes are a major advantage. If you are not a tax resident, spending less than 183 days per year in Vietnam, your U.S. pension income is not taxed by Vietnam. If you stay longer and become a tax resident, most foreign-sourced personal income usually falls within a very low bracket, 0 to 5%, depending on the case. Many retirement incomes are treated even more leniently. Vietnam does not tax capital gains or dividends earned abroad for non-residents. Meanwhile, you still file U.S. taxes as usual and can use foreign tax credits to avoid double taxation. The practical conclusion for retirees. In Vietnam, taxes are rarely a problem, as long as you understand the 183-day rule and optimize with a tax advisor. Healthcare in Vietnam is a low-cost, decent quality needs strategy picture. WHO ranks the system at a mid-level, but its strength lies in extremely low costs and quick access. In Ninh Binh, the provincial hospital is reliable for basic care. Checkups cost $10-20, medications a few dollars, and doctors are friendly. For higher standards, Hanoi is just over an hour away, offering several international hospitals with English-speaking doctors and clear procedures. The expat community often buys international insurance at around $50-100 a month to access better hospitals, with a backup option of traveling to Bangkok or Singapore for complex cases, cancer, cardiac interventions. If your health is relatively stable, Vietnam's system offers excellent value for routine medical needs. In terms of safety, Vietnam ranks among the most peaceful countries in Southeast Asia. Gun laws are strict, violent crime is rare. The most common risks are petty theft and snatching in big cities, easily avoided with basic habits. Keep your bag close, use Grab or taxis at night, avoid alleys late. Traffic is the biggest danger. Motorbikes are everywhere, and unwritten rules abound. If you're not used to it, don't drive. Just call Grab. It's fast, cheap, and safe. In the provinces, life is slower. The elderly are respected, and strangers are treated kindly. Social stability is high, with no violent protests. As long as you avoid sensitive political topics, life is remarkably peaceful. But no paradise is perfectly smooth. The rainy season can flood village roads. The internet sometimes lags. Bureaucracy runs at its own pace, and foreigner pricing still exists if you fall into tourist traps. Yet, when you choose to live like a local, eating at familiar food stalls, shopping at markets, taking Grab, learning a few greetings, everything becomes lighter. You save money, but never feel lacking. And when the last sunset falls over Bai Din Pagoda, the bells of Tam Chuk echo through the mountains and clouds. you'll understand. In Vietnam, peace is not just a memory, but a way of life. A place where, with just a few $100s, you don't just have enough to live, you have enough to belong. If you feel this land makes your heart slow down a beat, hit like if you too are searching for a place to live more gently, and subscribe to discover more corners of the world where peace is still affordable and happiness is still real. 3. Laos, Luang Prabang, where time chooses to stop. Have you ever wondered if one day you no longer heard car horns, no longer checked emails, no longer raced against time, would you be happier? If the answer is yes, then Luang Prabang, the ancient city nestled in the northern mountains of Laos, is the place for you. Here, time doesn't pass. It dissolves, like morning mist over the Mekong River. In the morning, monks in saffron robes quietly walk for alms, while locals bow to offer bowls of sticky rice. The sound of temple bells drifts through the air, light as wind, as if the entire city is breathing in unison. With just $397 a month, you can live in the outskirts of Luang Prabang, a cozy little house for $100 and $200 a month, utilities and internet around $40, and the rest for hearty meals, sticky rice khao niao, lightly spiced larb, sweet and sour papaya salad tam mak hung, or a strong, creamy coffee on the old colonial streets. Lao cuisine is simple, light on oil, rich in vegetables, much like its people, humble and kind. Luang Prabang isn't just beautiful, it's meditative. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, the city is a serene blend of French colonial and Lao Buddhist architecture. Along the Nam Khan River, ancient temples like Wat Sieng Thong and Wat Mai quietly reflect on the water. Not far away, the Kwangsi waterfalls cascade white through the forest, a place where locals still come to bathe each afternoon. Everything here seems to slow down, just enough for you to hear your own heartbeat. Regarding visas, Laos does not have a specific retirement program, but it is easy and open. Foreigners can apply for a 30-day tourist visa, extend it locally, or switch to a company or work visa to stay long-term. Personal income tax is only 5 to 10%, and if you live on pension income from abroad, you are not taxed. With a simple tax system, a stable government, and a low cost of living, Laos has become a quiet paradise for retirees. I once met John, a 68-year-old Australian, on the steps of Wat Sieng Thong Temple. He said that after his wife passed away, he wandered in search of a peaceful place to spend the rest of his life. I only planned to stay a week, he smiled, but on Monday morning, when I saw the Mekong River in the mist, I knew I couldn't leave. Now he lives in a wooden house for $180 a month, teaches English to village children, goes to the market for vegetables in the afternoon, and sits on his porch writing a journal at night. Here, he said, no one asks who I used to be. They only ask if I'm well. Healthcare in Luang Prabang is still basic, but safety and tranquility are undeniable. Serious crime is almost non-existent. Locals are kind, slow-paced, and respectful of traditions. The biggest risks are just the roads and utilities in remote areas still being unstable, but in return, you gain something the world is losing: silence. In Laos, people say, humans are born from grains of sticky rice. Perhaps that's why this country always smells of new rice, simple but deeply rooted. You'll see children laughing by the river, elderly men chewing betel on porches, and women weaving bamboo baskets under the afternoon sun. A country poor in possessions, but rich in peace. With $397 a month, you don't need to prove anything, and you don't need to chase anyone. All you need is to watch the mist over the Mekong in the morning, listen to temple bells in the afternoon, and sit on your porch at night watching fireflies drift across the fields. It's not just a cheap life, it's a complete one. If you feel your heart is asking for rest, hit like to spread the spirit of slow living. 2. Indonesia. Lombok, the island that breathes slowly behind Bali. If Bali is where travelers come to show off, then Lombok is where people come to breathe. Just 2 hours by ferry from Bali, this island is so peaceful you can hear the waves break and the wind slip through thatched roofs. There are no noisy bars, no traffic jams, only the sea, the mountains, and people so gentle it feels unreal. With 390 $390 a month, you can live like a local and still have everything you need. A small house near the beach costs $120–150 per month, utilities and internet another $40, and the rest goes to food, which here is cheap and fresh. Grilled fish and banana leaves, fried rice nasi goreng, spicy chicken soup soto ayam, or thick, rich Lombok coffee, all for just $1–2 a meal. Every day is a simple feast with nature. Indonesians are especially friendly, respectful toward foreigners, and believe helping the elderly brings good karma. Though Lombok is Muslim, you'll feel the spirit of tolerance everywhere. In prayers, children's laughter, and locals offering you a sweet cup of tea as a ritual of friendship. Indonesia's retirement visa is one of the most retiree-friendly programs in Southeast Asia. As long as you are over 55 years old and have a minimum income of $1,500 per month, you can apply for a 1-year retirement visa, renewable for up to 5 years, allowing you to rent a long-term home and open a local bank account. If you live on pension income from abroad, you are not taxed. In terms of health care, Lombok has the Mandalika International Hospital, and Bali is less than a 30-minute flight away, offering full premium medical services. Life here doesn't demand much. A small scooter, a breezy porch, and sunsets blazing over Senggigi Beach. Of course, Lombok still lacks a few things. Transportation isn't modern yet, and electricity can flicker during the rainy season. But in exchange, you get a real life. Long days, low costs, and smiles always ready. When the sun fades behind Mount Rinjani and the sea turns copper red, you'll understand why people say, in Lombok, you don't need to go anywhere to find peace, because it's already in your heart. If you believe that happiness lies in simplicity, hit like and subscribe to join me on the journey to places where peace is a luxury, but still real. 1. Cambodia, Siem Reap, where the sun rises from stone. There are places where the sun simply rises, but in Cambodia, it rises from stone, from the ancient towers of Angkor Wat bathed in golden dawn, where time stands still and the past still breathes. Amid that scenery, Siem Reap appears like a miracle, peaceful, friendly, and so affordable that you'll be amazed how simple happiness can be. With only $390 a month, you can live gently within this heritage city. A bright room with a balcony overlooking mango trees costs only $100 per month. Utilities and internet another $40, and the rest for meals rich in Khmer soul. Creamy fish amak, mildly spicy beef lok lak, or nom ban chok, Cambodia's version of po, for just $1. The cuisine here is simple, low in oil, rich in vegetables, and cooked with patience and kindness, just like its people. Siem Reap is not only cheap, but easy to live in. Here, people don't measure life by money, but by peace of mind. You can sit for hours in a riverside cafe, listen to temple bells drifting from Wat Phra Prom Rath, and feel a world that doesn't need to rush. The Khmer are gentle, respectful toward the elderly, And always smile at strangers. A smile that makes you feel you belong here, even if you just arrived yesterday. For retirees, Cambodia is even more welcoming. The government grants a retirement visa, visa, to anyone over 55 with stable income. No investment required, just proof of income. You can renew it annually without complicated paperwork. Moreover, foreign income tax is zero, so your pension, savings, and dividends all remain fully yours. I once met Linda, 63, an American, one afternoon on Pub Street. She said, "In Oregon, I paid $200 just to hear the sound of my air conditioner. Here, I open the door and the wind sings for me." Now she rents a small house for $130 a month, goes to the market in the morning for mangoes, rides her bicycle to Tonle Sap Lake at sunset, and reads under warm light in the evening. Life here isn't wealthy, she said, but it's real. Of course, Cambodia isn't perfect. During the rainy season, roads flood, internet can be weak, and tuk-tuks remain the main transport. But when the sunset falls on the ancient stone towers, when you see locals releasing lanterns on the lake and praying that tomorrow will be as peaceful as today, you'll understand that Cambodia isn't just a cheap place to live, but a place to live fully, truly, and peacefully. If you believe that happiness doesn't lie in your wallet, hit like to spread the spirit of slow living, and subscribe to continue the journey to the places where time stops and hearts grow gentle again. In the end, you don't need a lot of money to live a fulfilling life. You just need to choose the right place to start over. Somewhere among the echoing temples of Vietnam, the calm waters of the Mekong in Laos, or the blue beaches of Lombok, thousands of Americans are living happily on just $397 a month. No debt, no pressure, only peace and freedom. Your second life can begin today without waiting for the right time. Because sometimes what you need isn't more money, but fewer worries. If you want to feel truly alive again, hit like, subscribe, and join me in exploring the places around the world where Americans can still retire safely, warmly, and freely on just $400 a month.